We have a lot to cover in this video. Charles Hoskinson will be speaking to us. I'm glad he's returned to the crypto world at last. We are going to examine his actions and words. Let's talk about Ripple's recent collaboration. People tend to underestimate the amount of worldwide publicity that Ripple is quietly gaining behind the scenes, so I don't want to imply that this is a new relationship, but rather an enlargement of an existing one. They don't really investigate this, or they can't recall, for example, who Ripple has previously collaborated with or where they are currently covering. People, they're truly getting a completely worldwide network here. Yes, the XRP ledger will be used. Yes, XRP will be used. Yes, it will make use of the Rust stablecoin, which will launch as soon as legislation is passed, which I believe will happen next year. It's all coming together. Meanwhile, the price of XRP is holding up quite well. Stunningly gorgeous. Bitcoin can, after all, drop a little further. If they let us go there, we would aim for the mid to upper 80s, as we mentioned in the first video. If they are, I'm not sure. If they do, I will take a long position for the first time since I am so sure that a strong move will be made that will push us past the $100,000 mark. I've stated it already. I'll tell you one more. Bitcoin will not simply rise past 100,000 when it reaches that level. It will go completely out of control. It will suddenly go from 108 to 115 in the blink of an eye. I was attempting to break my finger. Actually, it didn't work. So, where are we sitting right now? The price of Bitcoin is $92,324, I'll tell you. Excuse me, but it's up or down right now. Ethereum is at $3,313, 5.28%. Both USDC and USDT are down 4.35%, and XRP is trading at 99 cents. You see, XRP has been really resilient. And I nearly hesitated to say that for fear of jinxing it. At $1.37, however, it has risen 2.3% in the last hour and has shown some redness over the last day, but I can assure you that it is holding up remarkably well in comparison to the Bitcoin pairing. If you didn't check, you might not have seen that my TikTok went viral yesterday. I was discussing the ETFs. Recall that there are now 5 ETFs for XRP. Wisdom Tree was the most recent one yesterday. People, we have Bitwise, Canary, Grayscale, 21 shares, and Wisdom Tree. And who hasn't joined the ETF game or filed an ETF yet, do you know? And they will be the first to demonstrate that BlackRock is most likely. Does the number of XRP ETF filings appear to be higher than that of Bitcoin? Because it does to me. It certainly does, in my opinion. The location of the event is straightforward. Next year, an ETF for XRP will be available. They will most likely approve the Solana ETF at about the same time. It is necessary to have alternative news available too to try to hide any positive developments for XRP. As a result, they will have to approve several cryptos or the basket of cryptos that Bitwise is offering for an ETF. But it will happen. You should visit TikTok if you haven't already. Additionally, I believe that this video received between 16,000 and 17,000 views. This is amazing. I mean, I only have 2,000 TikTok followers. The channel reached 17,000, and I'm working to expand it. It's insane. Charles Hoskinson reiterates that XRP and Cardano are now much closer. Pay attention. XRP and Cardano. I didn't have the sound adjusted properly, so let me start over. XRP community, there you have it. These days, Cardano and XRP are much closer, and I'm beginning to change my mind. It's breaking out at last. This one really smells like high L, doesn't it? Hoskins is rambling, then. I sincerely hope that Christian Carlo will be the future head of the SEC. I'm not sure if he will accept it. We can only hope, people, since I'm not sure whether he will. He concurs with Stuart Alvarado, a topic we discussed in the day's first video. They're like a high school of boasting, isn't the SEC? It is, in a way, repulsive. They're walking around boasting like that, which is sort of terrible. I simply don't comprehend Gary Gensler, and I'm not sure how we can reveal his face. Like, what he did is truly terrible. He nearly seems to have deceived the American people, don't you think? It's insane. The entire conversation with Charles Hoskinson regarding the Wyoming stablecoin can be seen here. This man is telling the truth, after all. He is absolutely correct about everything. He doesn't mince words. It's absolutely true. It's acceptable if you don't agree with everything he says. Even if you may not agree with everything I say, if it's the truth, then it must be, right? Since this will lead into the following section of this video, let's take a moment to reflect on this. This is Brooks Answell discussing Tangelo and Ripple. Furthermore, this will discuss our future direction. Simply pay attention. One of the first corridors we'll be working with Tangelo on, out of many to come, was money saved for the Philippines. The process is substantially faster. The idea is that local money would be converted to XRP, which would then settle across the ledger to another jurisdiction or nation and be paid out right away. We believe that this is the way that money will be exchanged swiftly in the future because of the amazing amount of friction it removes from the system. Additionally, Jackie, the crew, and our teams collaborate closely on steer codes every day. This is a reality because our teams are in sync. We're eager to see where these ODL use cases we've been discussing go in the future. And it does add a great deal of intrigue. Yes, we are discussing consumers and remittances, but it is also evident that small firms are transferring funds internationally. Additionally, there are strong arguments there. Moving money across borders is therefore justified by strong arguments, as it will lead to this. Recall that in 2021, Ripple brought in its on-demand liquidity region by purchasing a 40% share in Tangelo, the top cross-border payment specialist in Asia. To access existing networks and begin implementing XRP and on-demand liquidity. We were aware that Ripple would even purchase these businesses and acquire a stake in them. Moving on to the XRP expansion, Ripple and Tangelo have set their sights on 3 new nations. This was released in 2023, which is 1 year ago, correct? It details Ripple's involvement in Tangelo's collaboration and how SBI sent payouts to 3 Asian nations. As a result, they reached out to Indonesia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. SBI is also involved in this. Recall that 40% of this is owned by Ripple. As you can see, they are gradually expanding their reach for both XRP and on-demand liquidity, which is simply brilliant. It's important to remember Earthport because, when you look at it closely, MasterCard and Visa engaged in a bidding war over it. Why? Well, because they were aware of Earthport's extensive footprint and its RippleNet links. Therefore, purchasing one business gives you access to all of the other corridors and nations in the world. As a result, you get one large piece of the puzzle rather than assembling each one separately. You tapped into about 100 different partners the next thing you knew, right? Tangelo now enables payouts in Ethiopia, Kenya, Liberia, Madagascar, Mali, Senegal, and Zambia, as we discovered 2 days ago, or, if I may say so, yesterday. We are filling financial gaps and providing underprivileged populations with cost-effective cross-border payment options through e-wealth and bank transfers. The article can be found here. Payment corridors were already established by Ripple there. We should explain that they simply expanded into more of Africa after already transferring money across. It states that Tangelo, a prominent center for cross-border payments, has increased its presence in Africa and is now able to process payouts in the regions we just mentioned. It states that by offering effective, reasonably priced cross-border payment options, the strategic expansion seeks to increase financial inclusion. So how can we make it cost-effective and efficient? I'm here for a cunning reason. It claims that in the past, exorbitant remittance fees have impeded regional financial inclusion. Tangelo addresses this with its economical and effective solutions, which simplify and lower the cost of cross-border payments. According to Jackie Lee, Group CEO of Tangelo, the need for dependable and reasonably priced cross-border payments is highlighted by Africa's rapid growth, remittances, and mobile use. Whether they will use XRP is the most important question here. Will they make use of on-demand liquidity? Naturally, people, naturally. It seems like Ripple and Tangelo will never stop expanding. When it comes to adoption, that is what you want to see because, once they have Africa figured out, they can tap Africa into another region of the world, and before you know it, everyone is using on-demand liquidity. They are completely unaware that they are using on-demand liquidity. Sending an email is similar in that you have no understanding of how it operates in the background. You are completely clueless. How it works doesn't matter to you. You simply give a damn. In 3 seconds after you enter an email and press send, the recipient receives it. That's how money will operate. You send money, you are concerned that it has reduced the cost by 95% and that the recipient will receive your money in a matter of minutes rather than a few days as it used to. You only give a damn about it. The mechanics that operate in the background are of little interest to you. The fact that a small hamster is pushing that wheel to get this thing moving and moving doesn't matter to you. You're indifferent. Nobody is interested in that. All they want to know is, when they press the transmit button, the recipient receives the money in that format.